Hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name, as always, is Bloodstained Wings, and today I thought we could paint a lovely lakeside painting with a lighthouse and do something a little bit different. So, as you can see, there is a lighthouse as well as a lake, but there is also some weird and interesting shapes. So this painting was actually supposed to be a Patreon painting that I was prepping for, and then I realized that the spots that you can see there in black, both above the mountain and into the lake, that was all supposed to be in gold. And so because I messed up, I thought, why throw out the canvas? Why don't we just paint over it and make it a nice YouTube painting? I did really enjoy the colors of that Patreon painting, so I decided to use those same colors as that Patreon painting, but in this one, using some gesso to prep it with, as well as some acrylic gold paint to do some of the lights that you see shining out from the magical tower slash lighthouse slash castle. And I'm going with this being a magical tower fighting off some kind of dark magic circle being cast upon it. If you guys want to write an entire story and whole background for this one painting, please feel free to do so. And if I really like it, maybe I'll send this painting to you. And if you want to see how this painting is done, please feel free to join us because I'm about to start. So, here we go. This painting started out as you can see here, as a Patreon reward painting that I ended up forgetting halfway through. This part was all supposed to be done with gold and not with black. And after I had already done all the black, that's when I realized it was supposed to be gold and not black. And so I had to think of something I could do on top of that painting that I clearly messed up. So that's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. And so I decided I would do a lovely seascape with like a little, and by little I mean giant, tower thing. Whatever they're called. What are they called? Lighthouses. They're called lighthouses. Houses that hold light. Lighthouses. Great. I got there. Okay, good. But yeah, that's what I wanted to do. So I'm gonna start by applying some of the yellow ochre through here, and I'm hoping to make the yellow ochre rather transparent by just blending it enough. And that's gonna add like just a little bit of a start for everything to go from. And then from there, I will be adding blue. And I'll be adding Prussian blue, which is a very, very dark color. And it will take over nearly immediately. So you have to be really careful with your use of Prussian blue because it is so very, very strong. But I wanted to start with the yellow ochre. First of all, to give it that glow. And second of all, to make it so it's not so dark of a painting, because this is going to be a rather dark painting at the end, as you guys saw in the beginning, as I always start with the finished product, but I figured if we started on a brighter note, then we can get to the darkness. And it'll be mighty dark mighty quickly. But that's also why, as you can see here, there is some gold already in the painting that is just adding some accents to the glowiness. And that's where we're starting from. So if you're ready to jump right into the Prussian blue, here we go. Prussian blue is a very, very, very powerful dark blue color. If you are going to use it, I highly recommend having it as a night scene, because I don't need to prep this with black at all, because this is such a dark blue. Now, I didn't clean my brush at all, and you can see there's no green. Absolutely no green whatsoever. And that's just because Prussian blue is that dark, that strong, that powerful of a color. And you know what? I'm feeling very, very much like I want a powerful dark color. And so that's what we're going for. Yeah. Once again, I'm just gonna blend that out with the bigger brush, which does have the yellow on it and will now have blue on it. Because just like that, it's got blue on it. Just gonna try to maybe blend it this way, so I don't go too far into the yellow, because the yellow is not holding a candle to this blue. This blue is dominating immediately, which is to be expected and is what I want, but at the same time I'm like, whoa, whoa, you know? So I'm just trying to add the blue here. Now this is water. Trying to get that blue on that canvas. It is behaving as if there is not enough goop, and so I am going to, there we go, add some goop. You see, sometimes you just need to add goop, and your life gets easier. Whenever your paint is not spreading like you want it to, add a little bit more goop. It is better to start with not a lot of goop though, because I find that the goop can really take over. Especially when you're doing galaxy paintings, sometimes it can just take over and be a little bit too hot to trot. So you want to be on the cautious side when using your goop, or, you know, liquid clear or liquid whatever is your choice of medium. Just go on the easy side with it. Alright. Cliff here needs to be in the dark blue category with just the yellow highlights, but we're going to get to that when we get to it. Alright. Alright, so we have our little glow. I'm coming in even closer. I am. I'm just doing it. I'm doing it! I think what I'm gonna do is where that is, I'm gonna use a palette knife and make it really glow. I also think that this could use a little black, just a hint of black in the sky, and at the rocks here, to like really emphasize that, like, the glow, you know, that it is nighttime, you know. Just a smidgen up here. Really get that nighttime vibe. So that was just a touch of black. Just a touch of black. Just a touch of black. But I think that it's really gonna help to make everything feel just a little bit more muted, a little bit darker. Yeah, I was kind of hoping this blue would cover up a lot of this, but I don't know, maybe I like it. We'll see. We'll see what happens with this whole thing eventually. For right now, we're leaving it the way it is. So I like the sky. I think the sky is great. So we're gonna move on from there. I'm gonna mix the Prussian blue that I have here, good, with some black. So they are combined into one. So this is a extremely dark blue. And that is going to be the basis for this rock cliff here. There we go. I'll smooth that out later. And it's also the basis for this rock cliff over here. And again, we're going to be highlighting this again with all the things. I just realized I should have probably started back there. That's okay. We can do that now. We're going to get like a gray kind of color. We're going to start with these back here so that they are just a little bit grayer, a little bit more muted. They're going to get darker as they get closer to us. I'm just going to pull those colors out together. There we go. So they're just kind of faded mountain kind of shapes. And then this here, there we go. We've got ourselves a cliff. And this here, got ourselves a cliff. Okay, great. Now we do need highlights on these because they do exist. So I'm going to clean my palette knife and I'm going to use the yellow ochre and I'm going to mix it with a little bit of white just to give it a little variation, and I'm just going to highlight right off the edges of this cliff here. Or I'm not going to do anything because apparently there was a lump. There we go. So you can see it's just picking up the edges and it's getting very dark as it goes down, which is what you want. You want it to be just a little bit darker as it comes down this cliff here. There we go. And the other side is a little bit darker, so I'm going to try to add more of the yellow ochre to it and less of the white. And just come in here and highlight the edge of that cliff. And just kind of pull down a little bit to give us some like nice texture. You don't wanna do too much. There we go. So it just gives us that little texture to like confirm that there is things going on. And I am gonna come back with the brush that actually I used for the background. I'm just gonna really kind of hush up these edges, make them real quiet. So we're just, there we go, gently blending those edges away, which is exactly what we want. I'm also going to take a little bit of the white and do a little highlight. Actually, maybe still with the yellow. Maybe still with the yellow. A little highlight on this guy here. So you can see that guy exists. And then without the yellow, hopefully, and the guy in the background. So that you can see there's just like ridges that are different between the two of them. There. And now, using that same like yellow and white combination that we have, just a yellow and white, I'm just going to dance. Just going to dance that color through here, having it be a little bit more white over here. And then as we get towards the other section over here, I'm going to be adding some more of the yellow. So here's where I'm going to add the yellow. So it is still yellow and white, but it's more yellow through there. But you can see there is still white happening. And then it's just really going to fade to nothing. Right here, real delicately. Real delicately just dance in the middle. Like that. Okay. And now I'm going to take that same brush, the same dark one from before. And I'm just going to come in and kind of sweep the edges to kind of pull them out and blend them out so it looks like they are just barely getting touched by the rest of this here. Oh, that was way too much. Ooh. Blend that away. There we go. Because you don't want it to be bright over here But you just want to pull out the edges so that it just gets the impression that there is some ripples, and the brush allows for it to pick up just the tiniest bit and still make it like, it looks like I'm using one single hair at a time essentially, because I am going so very, very gently. There we go. All right, now that we have all of that, we need some more rocks, obviously. I mean, that's clearly what needs to happen. So I'm going to get some more of the blue, some more of the black. And we're just gonna make some rocks. This is gonna be a rather large rock over here. We may have like layers of rocks. Who knows? There we go. Big old rocks. And once again, we're gonna get the highlight of a little bit of white. I'm gonna try not to have the yellow in it, but realistically, that's probably not gonna happen. There we go. I made sure it was a little blue, which is gonna take away from the yellow. All right, so we got our highlight on our rock here, and it's just gonna barely touch the inside of these rocks and really fade really quickly, because the only light basically is right there. So you want to keep that in mind when doing your painting. Once again, I'm just going to pull this out just a little, kind of give the impression of more darkness happening. There we go. It was just too bright. It was too bright. I needed more darkness to happen. Okay. I think with that color again, I can just, there we go. Kind of give the impression that there's a little, like it's flat there. The idea. The idea is that part is a little flat. There we go. It just gives this little bit something to go off of. There we go. Now that's a big rock. All right. We got ourselves a big rock. We got ourselves some fancy things going on. I think what I'm going to do is use more of that blue and black combo and have some bushes over here. I think that'll look really good. And maybe a little bush over here. And we'll come back and highlight that with some yellow, if I can find more yellow. All right, and in order to make this stick, it's got to be a little thin. All right, I've got my brush all ready with the yellow. There we go. I want the inner ones to be the brightest, so I'm trying to make sure those are the ones that I'm doing first. And then, as we get further out, it'll pick up some of that blue and black and get a little bit more green. It'll be harder and harder to see. Even though it's still there, you guys can't see it. I can see it, but it's still there, but it's very, very quiet. Very hushed tones. I think I'm also gonna do, sometimes on these like beachy things, there are these like little wispy things. So I'm just gonna kind of add a little wispy thing. like that. Like it's just got a little wispy thing. They exist. They're things. Things that exist. Alright, and then now that those exist, we can also give our little trees here some twigs, little bushes. All of our bushes get some twigs. There we go. Little twigs for everything to exist. Wow. I still don't know if I like the weird shape in the water there. Not sure I like that, not sure what to do about it, but I do really like the glow of the lighthouse. That's what they're called. Oh my god. Houses of light! We're gonna forget what they're called every time. Okay, I'm gonna give it a little highlight. So that it really looks like that is where the light is coming from. And that there are shapes and levels and like fences, you know? There are things happening. And then the light doesn't get down here because that little benchy walkway thing is in the way. But what we can do is add lights. We can add some lights through here. Like it's got little... I like that better than the dots. We got little windows that are little slices of life windows. I'm gonna do more of them over here. Just little windows to kind of make everything, make it feel more castle-like, I guess. Are you gonna be visible? It's like, no, not really. I don't really want to be. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, good try. Let's try again. Boop. Boop. There we go. Boop. Okay, we've got a few windows on our little guy. Maybe the top one should have 3 over here. 3. There we go. So now it looks like there's levels to our lighthouse where you're going up the stairs. Maybe it looks more like a castle lighthouse thing with beams of light coming out, doing all kinds of crazy weird things. And I don't know what's going on with here. Maybe there's some kind of magic spell that's being cursed over here that's bringing the darkness, and it's fighting the curse with its magic lighthouse-ness. Yeah, that sounds great. Let's go with that theory. That sounds like it could be a thing. Magic tower. This is now not a lighthouse. It is now a magic tower, and it is trying to dispel the curse. Yes. Perhaps one day it will, but for now, it is a struggle as it tries to dispel the curse. So I hope you guys like that. I'm clearly having fun with it. This was a lot of fun, and I'm really glad that I did it. I hope you guys come back for more. And just like that, it has been magically released from all of its tape. And you can now see the whole painting. And you can see that gold that I put on there is still there. But when you look at it flat on, you can't see it because it disappears into the yellow ochre. But then when you turn it, it just picks up that little bit of gold that really makes the whole painting come alive. And I really like that. I think that's really good. And it'll do the same thing in the water, although it's really hard to capture on film, but that's okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, because I know I did. And thank you so much to all of my Patreons for supporting me and continuing to make this possible. I really appreciate you guys so much. If you would like to join my Patreon and get a painting that is this sized every month, please feel free to do that. The links are in my description. Please remember that you are loved, you deserve to be loved, and I will see you guys next month. Bye! Mwah.